Excuse me. Pardon me. I think you're in my seat.
No, I'm not.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Coming through again. Sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me.
I will now begin to call up the different points, and I will start at New York. I will call first New York.
New York, telephone office.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Harrisburg, telephone office.
Beaver Dam, Ohio.
Beaver Dam, telephone office.
Chicago.
Chicago, telephone office.
Davenport, Iowa.
Davenport, telephone office.
North Platte, Nebraska.
North Platte, telephone office.
Winnemucca, Nevada.
Winnemucca, telephone office.
San Francisco, California.
San Francisco, telephone office.
San Francisco, I hear you very well indeed. How do you hear me?
I hear you perfectly, General.
That's good. What time is it in San Francisco now?
It is now 7.
I have something I want to show you. Isn't it wonderful?
Welcome to Monday night on Kevin vs. the Internet. This is a great audience. I might stay for the whole show. I hope you had a great day today. It follows on from a fantastic week where a federal judge threw out the mask mandate for airline travel. I was on a plane recently where I had to wear a mask. The guy sitting next to me said that it's a good idea if I wear the mask even if I'm fully vaccinated because his service dog just had a bad batch of kibbles and bits. It's May. We're getting close to summer. It's already hot here. Oof, man, air conditioning bills. But everyone's getting ready to go on vacation. It's the tourist season. In fact, Ukraine reports that they've already had a surge in visitors from Russia. Well, the Ukraine war is entering its 3rd month, and I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently 10 European nations, including France and Germany, have been supplying military equipment to Russia up in all this whole time, up until a few days ago. But the good news is, if the French equipment has to work more than 4 days in a row, it goes on strike. Russian President Vladimir Putin refuses to call this war a war. Instead, he refers to it as a special operation. By an interesting coincidence, special operation is the code word the Secret Service uses for President Biden. It's the code word I use for my producer. So people are worried about Biden's mental faculties. They think they aren't what they used to be, apparently. He's getting confused on stage. He's not remembering his speeches. And worse still, yesterday he lost a spelling bee to Britney Spears. But he's trying to improve his cognitive abilities. For instance, this morning he spent several hours on the internet looking up who the current president of the United States is. Well, I don't know how many of you are on Twitter, but you may have heard that Elon Musk has just bought the social media giant. Elon Musk says that the reason he bought Twitter was to bring free speech back to the platform. Musk says that he will next buy McDonald's to bring back the McRib. Speaking of food, I like to speak about food. I feel a little hungry right now. Well, we have a small commissary connected to the studio for the staff and guests. Sorry. Not sorry. Yeah. Anyway, they serve pretty good food, but recently they've been following new recipes that they discovered at the Wuhan lab in China. I know it sounds bad, but they tell me the food is nothing to sneeze at. Terrible jokes. Los Angeles recently recorded the smoggiest day in over 20 years. They say that hot air is a contributing factor to the smog, but they have still not pinpointed the source since Governor Newsom wasn't in town that day. Speaking of inflation, see how I did that? Speaking of inflation, prices for food and gas have been skyrocketing. We're at the highest inflation rate in over 40 years. 40 years, just think. 40 years ago, that's when Warren Buffett was celebrating his 80th birthday. But while the prices of everything are skyrocketing, the good news is the price to buy a congressman remains flat. We have a great show for you today. Hopefully it's started. Did it start? Anyway, I will be coming back after this break. We'll let some of the audience go, and when we come back, we'll answer some questions and comments you may have and have a good time. So come back.
The only blanket I trust for my children.
The Luxurio Fabric Blanket from Home 2 Products. The only blanket made with luxurious, genuine mouse fur.
Tonight on Channel 119, WKVTI, Josh gets hit with a huge tax bill on the real poor people of Atlanta. And on an all-new episode of Yes, Mr. President, Honest Abe is up to his old hijinks.
It's a night of comedy on Channel 119 WKVTI. Are you ready?
Let's have some fun.
Welcome back to Monday night on Kevin vs. the Internet. Yeah. We thought we'd tell you a little bit about the show, why we're doing Monday night, why we're here. I can't really tell you much about the second part because, well, no one has figured that one out for 2,000 years. But the first part, why we're doing it, well, lately we noticed that a lot of talk shows, well, they're not as funny as they used to be. We wanted to go back to the days when you'd have a monologue where you'd talk about current events and lots of silly things, and it wasn't really, political to one side or another. So that's why we're doing it, and we hope you enjoy it. We hope you like the jokes, and please comment to let us know if you have heard any jokes tonight. But this is a labor of love. No one's getting paid here, right? You're not getting paid, right? Anyway, no one's getting paid here. We're on the platforms of YouTube, Rumble, and locals.com. And if you're inclined to, support us at all, you can go to kevinversustheinternet.locals.com. That's where you can go to support us. Also, you can just go there and sign up as a member for free, absolutely free. Not only do we have videos there, but as the people watching this video on that platform already know, is that we also have jokes. We put in a lot of jokes, and I don't want to say the jokes are stolen. Yeah, they're recycled. They're green jokes. It takes absolutely no energy on our part to make these jokes up because they already exist. And so we're just recycling jokes. These are green jokes. I thought I'd share a couple with you. This one is from Doug Benson, who is apparently a comedian. I don't know his work. I'm sure his mother thinks he's very funny. Doug Benson. I actually got pulled over once for driving in the diamond lane. The cop said to me, "You know, you have to have more than one person in the car to drive in the carpool lane." I said, "Check the trunk." Tommy Cooper, this guy, I didn't even know about this guy. That's one fun thing that you discover when you're running a channel like this, is that you discover all these new comedians and old comedians that you don't know about, right? By the way, I should thank the staff here. The staff here is great. If you've seen any of the videos on the channel, you've seen them sometimes in front of the camera, and they're really great. They don't always want to be identified. Apparently, they're all illegals. They're all refugees from comedy shows across the border. So Tommy Cooper, this guy, I don't know if he's British or Australian. I also don't know if he's alive or dead. I'm guessing not alive. I'm guessing I'm going to be jealous of him in a moment. Tommy Cooper. Police arrested 2 kids yesterday. One was drinking battery acid, and the other was eating fireworks. They charged one and let the other off. Well, thanks. Henny Youngman. So this is from Henny Youngman. You may not remember Henny Youngman. He was king of the one-liners. He says, yeah, and this is not a one-liner. How about that? A guy complains of a headache. Another guy says, "You should do what I do. I put my head on my wife's bosom and the headache goes away." Next day, the man says, "Did you do what I told you to do?" He says, "Yes, I sure did. By the way, you have a nice house." So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. We're planning on having some other segments to the show as we go along. We'll probably do like one of these a month, but hopefully 2. As I said, labor of love. And some people get tired of love. So, well, anyway, we'll see how it goes. And thank you for tuning in. And hopefully we'll see you again next time. Monday night.
This concludes the broadcast.
Good night.